Well, here we are this evening and you're watching Cavan News and Views, and we're down here this evening in the beautiful Loch Muckna down in Castleblayney, County Monaghan. We've been invited down here this evening to meet David O'Crieve, and David just this weekend has become European champion wakeboarder. Congratulations, David. Brilliant victory this weekend.
Yeah, thank you so much. For the first time after years working for it, I've finally become the European champion, so I'm just overwhelmed and just delighted, to be honest.
Okay, so you have been national champion for many years?
Yeah, I've been national champion here. There's been competitions here and all around the country. So for 6 years I've been Irish national champion, and it was great to kind of take it to the next level, and hopefully we can continue it and maybe get to the world level someday.
Okay, so just for the folks out there, we're going to talk about wakeboarding and what it actually is. It is snowboarding on a lake or on water, and that describes it somewhat.
Yeah, that describes it. That's kind of the go-to explanation. So basically, for the most part, you're pulled behind a boat, and the boat makes a wake or a wave, as you know, and basically you use that wake to do flips and spins and just all sorts of crazy tricks.
And the good part is we're actually going to go out on the boat behind David and catch up with him doing his flips and his tricks. But let's get the story, David. You were actually a Dublin guy who came down to Lochsillin down near Shercock in County Cavan on your weekends and on your holidays, and it all started there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started out, as you said, in Shercock in Lochsillin. There's a caravan park there, and my parents used to windsurf up there, so we went up there. And then when I was about 5, a neighbour moved in with a boat, and obviously all the kids lined up outside his caravan to go out and try it. And basically got hooked on it, and then when I was 10, then started wakeboarding, and then shortly after, my parents actually built a house there, and then basically we've been up in Cavan since, and just it's a lovely location, as I'm sure you know, 365 lakes, one for every day of the year, so it's absolutely fantastic up there. Just
to give us an idea, and to the folks out there, how big a sport is wakeboarding in the county areas like that?
Yeah, so it's a growing sport. It's one of the fastest growing water sports in the world, it and kiteboarding. So basically, I think I don't know exact numbers, I think within the Irish Federation we have over 3,000 people subscribed, I think is the word. And basically, and all this takes place rurally because there's not really many places to do it within cities, so it's all around, whether it's in Cavan or in Tipperary or something like that, that's kind of where it takes place, man.
So in particular it's good for flat water, for lakes.
Yeah,
as we have here in
wind is bad,
rural lakes. Okay, so now you are professional.
Yeah, it's my full-time career now, so enjoying every minute of it. It's certainly something different anyway than I was in college before. So
okay, and at any time you could be anywhere in the world.
Yeah, anywhere, literally, this next weekend I'm going to Germany, then I'm going to America, then China, so it's a lot of travel, which is fantastic. You get to see the world. So, and
of course all of that is to be in competitions and to win the competitions, and you are backed by some sponsors, and that's where the professionalism comes in.
Yeah, absolutely. I have fantastic support from companies like Monster Energy, O'Brien Wakeboards, Nissan cars, so get a car, which who doesn't want that when they're a 21-year-old boy, do you know what I mean? So that's brilliant. Okay,
so how fit and how strong and how dedicated does somebody like you have to be a European champion?
You probably don't have to be. It's anyone can wakeboard. Literally, I started when I was 5. I think the world record is 16 weeks old. That's how young they've started. So, and they go up to, there's a guy, I think he actually recently passed away, called Banana George, who was 97. He still did it. So it's for all levels of age and size and whatever. At a professional level, you do have to, like any sport, have a certain level of fitness, but it's not so much fitness as just having because you wouldn't go out for a long time, you'd very rarely be breathless at the end of it. It's just more kind of being strong
rather than cardiovascular. And to give us some idea of what a competition was like and what you had to do to win, when you're out in the water, been behind a boat, and we'll have a look at everything now. You do tricks and flips, we'll see that later. And how long, what's a competition like? What is, just give us the breakdown of a competition.
Yeah, so it takes place over maybe 7 or 8 days, and there's qualifying, quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals. But what each of those consists of is it's actually a length similar to this distance here. It's about, I think it's 300 meters they go with, and you basically do 5 tricks. So you do 5 tricks up, turn around, 5 tricks back, and you
5 different tricks each way.
Tricks, yeah, and you're judged on those tricks on how high you went, what the actual tricks were, so whether it was a flip or a spin, and then how clean you landed. So if you land and it's really rough, and you're dragging in the water, that's not good. So you don't get docked points, you get awarded points rather for when you land nicely.
Okay, so it's like aerobics in the water.
Yeah, exactly.
Gymnastics, we should say.
It's basically trampoline on the water, yeah.
Okay, great, David. Thanks, and congratulations again on your victory at the weekend. Where actually did you win at the weekend? Where were you?
It was in Holland, so it was a lovely.
So well done. Okay, so now we're going to have a look around, and we're going to look at wakeboards, and you're going to tell us all about them.
Yeah, brilliant.
Okay, David, so this is actually your wakeboard, and it's Thongs O'Brien, and that's the company that sponsors you, and that's your work. This is the one you won the competition on.
This is the very one, actually, believe it or not. But yeah, so basically this is a wakeboard. It's similar to a snowboard. It's about 140 centimeters long, and there's these bindings which are basically they're screwed in, and they keep you.
Sort of like snow boots.
Absolutely, yeah.
Attached to the board.
Yeah.
Okay, just turn around the back. So you were telling me that it goes by the grooves and things like that.
So as you can see, there's these fins which any surfer or windsurfer might. It's basically a small skeg. It's only 0.7 of a centimetre, so they're only tiny. And then it's these grooves, so basically, I don't know if you can see there in the camera, there's like, that's for softer landings, and then just the angles of the board as well, depends on how much height you can get as well. But too much in the landings aren't good.
Okay, so, and tell me the names of some of the things you've been doing, the tricks you call them.
Some of the tricks have strange names, so they have things from like a scarecrow is the name of a trick, a whirly bird, then like there's more normal names like back rolls and stuff, so it's a weird, they've got weird names. People invented the tricks and they just went with random names, I don't know why. Okay,
so like say if you were doing a competition and if you invented something, would you get any credit for doing your own kind of a trick?
Yeah, you would. Yeah, if you invented something that would go viral within the wakeboarding world, anyway, so you would get a lot of credit there. But yeah, I guess you just have to kind of. It's hard to initiate. Basically, now it's adding an extra spin onto stuff. Or now people have started doing double flips, which is like the whole new era in wakeboarding now.
Okay, more skill. And for anybody watching out there, is it an expensive sport? Is the gear dear? Is only having to have a boat and a driver, getting to the places? Is it an expensive sport, relatively speaking?
It is and it isn't. I think at my level you get what you put into it, so the more you spend travelling and training, you'll get more out of it. But from someone who's never tried it, like you don't need a board, you don't need a boat. There's cables now, but even if you come here to Lochmucknow, you spend €20 and you're away. Do you know what I mean?
You hire one from here.
Yeah, it's all sorted, and you've got tuition included in that and everything, and it's not actually that expensive to do as a hobby. Do you know what I mean? But it is expensive, I guess, if you're at a professional level.
Okay, one last daft question. Okay, so you come down here, you're looking for a weekend with a bit of fun. Is it recommended that you get up on a wakeboard when you're not au fait with water and boats and things like that? Is it a dangerous sport that way?
No, it's not, because the thing about it is you're always wearing a life jacket, so everyone who's on the boat to when you're out back behind water skiing and wakeboarding, you are wearing like a life jacket, so you won't sink is the first thing, and you actually do not have to be able to swim. I always used to say you don't have to be a strong swimmer, but recently I actually watched someone who was scared of the water get up on a wakeboard. So, but
still, it's not recommended at the same time.
No, you'll be fine, because the life jackets keep you afloat. You'll be fine. Anyone will be fine.
Okay, Dave, so we're going to go in the boat with you, and we're going to be in the boat and we're going to watch you. So, okay, maybe afterwards you'll tell us what you've actually gone through and the kind of things you've done, because I doubt you'll be able to shy. This is a scarecrow coming up now.
Well, I will if you want, yeah.
Okay, so just basically your fitness is again, you need to have strength, upper and lower body and core strength as well.
Yeah, and then the only thing I guess I left out there was I did a lot when I was younger, and I still do a lot of trampoline training, because you can do your flips and stuff and practice your aerial awareness, because you're doing all sorts of somersaults and it can be confusing. So if you can do it on a trampoline pretty easily, then when you're on the water it'll be more familiar. So
to do it at home, you do it on a trampoline?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I'll try that at home.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks Dave, we'll catch up with you in the boat.
Okay, brilliant, see you soon.
Okay, so we're after seeing David having really great fun on the lake, and the boat here is ridden by Nicole, and Nicole herself is a wakeboard star. We'll be talking to Nicole later on, and yeah, that's definitely on the bucket list. I'm going to come down here and do that someday when you are not looking. Well done, David. That was great fun. That was great fun watching you in the boat.
It was probably more fun out behind, I would say.
Yeah, so fabulous out there. It's the waves, now just for the folk who've never seen anything like this before, it's actually the waves that the boat makes that you swing forward and back on and do your tricks on.
Yeah, exactly. So all the boats are like carefully designed, so you can probably see inside this boat there's like a big bag, and basically that bag is full of water to weigh the boat down to increase the height of the wake. But also it's important where you put it. So if you see we've one at the back and one at the front, because if you put it all at the back or all at the front, the wake will be kind of, when it's white, like when there's a whitewash, that's not good basically, so you're avoiding that.
So as well as a good wakeboarder, you have to have a good driver in the boat.
The driver's essential. The speed's quite precise, so basically I would run, now you're going to be like, what, that's pretty picky, but basically I would run at about 38.5 kilometres an hour, so it's very precise, so the driver's got to be on it with that. And then the other thing is like a straight line is so important, which it sounds easy, but actually when like I'm cutting out away from it, the boat naturally takes a turn left or a turn right, so you have to correct it. So it is a tough job. It's half the driver, half the way.
That's the skill, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you a day in a day of a wakeboarder. Like, do you have to spend many hours a day at this, or how does it work?
So it does depend. So basically, like at the moment, because we're in competition season, it's actually not as intense training as it would be maybe February, March, do you know what I mean? Because that's more intense. So at the moment I kind of wake up, like do a few emails, go for a wakeboard maybe at like just before lunch or something like that, then do a few more emails and whatever, like honestly just hang about and enjoy myself, and then maybe again in the afternoon. So it's only twice a day at the moment, whereas say in February, when it was in March, I was training, I was doing that, and then on top of that I was going to the gym, and then maybe some like trampoline stuff or anything like that. So it's much more intense then, because you don't have that much energy. It's quite intense when you're out there, so you dispense quite a lot of energy. So it is. So
is this a year-round sport? You prepare all year round, and when is competition time, during the summer, or what way does that go? Yeah,
so it's year-round because you have to train in the winter. That's kind of when you progress, and then the summer, which basically I'd say from April till maybe October is competition season. So that's all about consistency. So you go out and it's a bit repetitive. Come the end of October, you're kind of fed up with doing the same tricks every day, do you know what I mean? But so that's kind of the competition season.
So are the lakes in Monaghan and Cavan suitable all year round, or just maybe in the summertime?
Well, they're a little bit cold, but they are suitable all year round. If you're man enough, they're suitable all year round, yeah.
So if you can bear the cold, the wetsuit will do?
Oh, absolutely. It's never your body, it's your hands and your face that get cold.
Okay, so we're just after getting off the boat, and as you saw on camera, Nicole Carroll was the driver on the boat, and Nicole's only 17, and she herself is also a wakeboard champion. You're sixth in Europe, Nicole.
Yeah, last week in Holland I came sixth in junior ladies, so I was happy to make it that far.
So well done. And you are from Shercock. You were born and grew up in Shercock, and you got your love on the water in Shercock, as did David.
Yeah, I actually got it from David. I seen him going up and down the lake, so I was like, I may as well try it when I have the facilities. So
do you go out all year round wakeboarding as well?
Yeah, I do it quite a bit. It gets a bit cold in winter, but you have to kind of persevere through it.
Okay. So are you going to stick with this? You're 17 now, Nicole, and you obviously like it, and you're able to drive the boat as well, and you're going to stick with this as a sport?
Yeah, well, that's my intention anyway, try and make a go at it.
Good. And would you like to go professional like David as well?
I wouldn't mind it, it wouldn't be bad.
Okay, so as you saw, we saw that you were the driver, and you were talking about the importance of the coordination between the driver and the wakeboarder. So who wants to tell me about that?
I can tell you a little bit. So it's so important. Basically, there's kind of two elements. There's the speed and keeping the boat straight. So the speed, it's very precise. I sound pretty picky when I say it, but I would go at about 38.5, so it's that close, down to decimals. So to keep it with that speed is the most important thing, and then the other thing is a straight line to keep the weight clean. So it sounds easy again, driving a straight line. Sure, how hard could that be?
Women are good at driving in straight lines, so I hear.
I won't make any jokes there. I'll only get myself in trouble. But no, but basically why it's hard is because if I'm cutting out to the left hand side to set up for a trick, I'm pulling the boat right, so Nicole has to correct it to the left, but if she overcorrects it, then that's an issue as well. So it's quite, actually it's very difficult driving the boat.
Okay, Nicole, you drove that boat with absolutely no bother at all. Superbly, yes, absolutely superbly. So cool as a cucumber.
Well, he's not too fussy, so you get more fussy people.
So it's easy peasy riding the boat, okay? Do you know, like, just silly me asking silly questions, does Nicole know which way you're going? Do you know which way Nicole's going to go? And how does it work? Or is it like choreographed, or what's the story?
Well, there's no choreography in it, definitely not, but I think it's like almost like a brain memo. Like, I guess wakeboarding's pretty predictable, particularly like I was saying at this moment in time, it's consistency, so it's pretty predictable about what I'm going to do. So, and Nicole, like, we would train together a lot, so she would kind of have...
So you're kind of in on the same kind of thing. So if you wanted to do anything really bold and knock him off the rope, could you do that?
I have the ability to do it.
So you have the power to do that.
You know, it has been done. A few days this week, basically, it's been pretty cold, and just as we go off the jetty, instead of gunning it when I jump, she just comes off the throttle and I sink and I get wet.
So you can have fun as well, Nicole. Okay, well done. Okay, we'll go over now. We'll talk to Nicole and we'll talk about your time. And you were sixth in the world at the European, the same championships that David was at last weekend. Did you think you'd do that, or did you just go to see what happened, or were you really, really willing to get to do that well?
Yeah, I wasn't riding coming up to it because I tore ligaments in my ankle, so I wasn't really like training as much as I would have liked to. So I was happy to get to the finals at least. Like, I wasn't really expecting to get that far.
So don't worry, you're only 17. You've a lot of competitions to go through yet. So does mum and dad and everybody go with you?
No, just my dad, because flights are expensive and stuff. So
yeah, that's the expensive part. But well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yeah, it's happy.
Well, well done, Dave. You are just fresh after your victory at the weekend, just this weekend. So I guess it's just sinking in at this stage. And where are you going now? What's the future now? What have you plans? What other challenges have you got to do?
Well, I guess the main challenge is to not wake up out of the dream that I'm living in at the moment. But I guess it's progression, you know. Like, that's what I kind of strive off lately. It's not particularly like winning a competition like that's fantastic, but I think the main thing is just continually just progressing, whether that's on the wakeboard or on the business side or whatever. So that's kind of my goal, is just keep going. Wakeboarding wise, I would love, and it's a big call, but I would love to become world champion. And there's a lot of work that what
would be involved to become world champion?
A lot.
Is it possible?
I definitely think it's possible. Anything is possible, and I do think it's definitely like, just from when I set out to become to do the Europeans, and after years of trying, it finally happened. So kind of made me think like it is probably possible. It's hard, but it's probably possible. You know, on the day you could have a bad day when you're finally ready. So, I mean, that's a few years down the line, but that would be the ultimate dream, I guess. Okay, so
apart from wakeboarding, what do you like in life as well?
What do I like in life? I love cars, like any 21-year-old male. Cars is it's a big thing. I'm a big fan.
Throw out a few names there.
I love like anything from like Subarus, like Nissan Skylines, like
boy cars.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. When I was,
did you do donuts?
I don't, because I don't have a rear-wheel drive car. When I was like 17, I was a boy racer for sure, but I've kind of grown out of it now. Now I do.
You didn't modify the cars in any way or anything into that kind of thing?
I did, yeah.
I had all those whizzing eyes go whiz when they're passing people.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But no,
I hate them.
It's all right, I've grown out now. I have a nice civilised Nissan.
It's just a 3-year window for that, is there?
For that, yeah, you do grow out of it after kind of the novelty wears off. But I like that, and then I like normal things. I don't know, like everything. I don't know. I actually don't really. I guess wakeboarding and cars would be my two favourite things.
Okay, well done, folks. Well, that's it. Cavan TV News talking to David O'Crieve, and he's the European champion. And watch this place, because I have a feeling that he could be the next world champion.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
And thank you. Okay, so just sitting here peacefully after the excitement of all that, I've been out in the boat with David behind us doing his tricks. and you can see how peaceful the water is, and that's the natural beauty of the lakes here in Monaghan and in Cavan. And indeed you can see that we have the natural resources for that, and it's great to see that a young guy like David learned his sport, got his skill here on the waters in Cavan and Monaghan. And for any young people as well, like Nicole, who are going to become champions. David is European champion, and he's aiming for the world, and one day he possibly will be a world championship. And it's great to see that he started here on the lakes in Cavan and in Monaghan. Well, that's it. It's been a fantastic evening, a very exciting evening here in Lochmuckness down near Castleblayney in Monaghan, and you're watching Cavan TV News and Views.